Hey guys, it's Eski. I may be on the couch right now in Washington, but I'm going to take you guys with me to Detroit, Michigan on a vinyl venture. I was there a little bit ago in August. My little sister moved to Michigan, so that was the point of the trip. I'd never been there before, but I knew I wanted to extend the trip in order to check out the local record stores, because when I think of Michigan, when I think of Detroit, specifically Detroit, first thing that comes to my head, Motown. After that, I think of, the grittiness of Ted Nugent, Alice Cooper. I think about some music history with MC5. I think about 8 Mile and Eminem. There's a lot of great music that came out of Detroit, Michigan. So music and cars and deep dish pizza. That's what I think of when I think of Detroit, and I wanted to see all three, squeeze that into the little bit of extra time that I had on the trip. And I did that with the help of a friend that I actually made on Whatnot, of all things. That is where I sell vinyl records. Great vinyl community on there. Everyone that I've met in person from Whatnot has been absolutely fantastic. And Chris, Rushrecords, and his wife Jeannie were no exception.
How I ended up here because of you.
Yeah.
It's all your fault.
It's all my fault. Everything's my fault. I actually met them when they came out to Seattle, and then this time I was in their home territory of Michigan, and they were so kind to take me around to different stores in the Detroit area. Chris, bless his heart, he had 10 record stores on the list to hit in one day, only hitting 4, but I was blown away, honestly. I was not disappointed. I want to go back, and I'm excited to show you guys some of what I got and give you like a little interview at the end with Chris and talk a little bit more about Michigan, Detroit music scene. The first stop on the Chris Rushrecords Detroit vinyl map was Dearborn Music in Dearborn, Michigan. Dearborn, if you aren't familiar with the area, is a suburb of Detroit. It is where the Ford factory laid its roots and still has its headquarters today. It's where the Ford Museum is, which is fantastic. If you're there, you have to go to it. If you're a history buff, you must go to the Ford Greenwich Village. It was amazing. I definitely need to go back and check that out, being a history nerd myself. But the record store also has some history. It's owned by a second generation son of the original owners, and I believe it is the oldest record store, continuously running record store in the Detroit area. Moved from the original location recently into a new spot. New spot kind of has mini mall vibes. They have socks here? Oh, that's the other store. Wait, is this the store?
This is it?
Wow, I've never been to a record store that has tea towels and little gnome keychains. Selection is fantastic. Pricing was great. If you're not a fan of vinyl records, they have CDs there. They have stereo equipment. They have even stuff you usually don't see in a record store, like board games, novelty items like, music socks and stuff like that. So it was a cool store. I probably bought the most stuff there, and the owner was there. He was great.
Yeah.
So do you have what's the most interesting story, or is there any interesting musicians that came in the store before?
I've had plenty of musicians in the store, but probably the one most interesting story is my mother actually got a ticket for selling the MC5.
Really?
Because of the bad word.
Uh-huh.
So she got a ticket. So Rhino Records, or Atlantic Records, the record label, sent their lawyers over and defeated it.
The child's mother.
They cared about one little F word.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, that's cool. And right here, where MC5 is from too, is
Correct.
definitely cool as well. Really nice guy. I definitely want to go back. So I'll show you guys what I picked up from that store. I might speed it up because it is a lot, and just stop on some ones that I want to highlight. The first store. I feel like whenever I travel to get records, for whatever reason, Washington follows me. And this was no exception in Detroit. I've been looking for a first press of one of my favorite albums of all time, and that is Death Cab for Cutie, Transatlanticism. If you're an indie fan, this is a must-own top 5 2000s indie record of all time. I've seen a first press once here, and I passed on it, and I regret it. But this Elton John, it has the promo kit in it, so I thought that was kind of cool. Has like the little letter, has the promo photo, so they sent out to radio stations. It also has the letter in here. Sorry guys, I was not prepared to pull this all out. So it has the MCA Records folder. Inside it has the Elton John letter that tells you about the record itself, which is in minty condition. It looks like it hasn't even been touched at all. So pretty cool. I mean, for under 20 bucks, of course I'm going to pick that up. So got that Elton John piece of history. I also picked up this live at Hammersmith Darkness record that I had never seen before. Emo Heart had to pick up Senses Fail. I had never listened to before, but it's a promotional copy. Also a white label promo of Angela Davis, and this just looks like it's good. Picked up a Rat album that is, I don't think, very common. I don't think it's a super expensive Rat album. It cost me $30 at Dearborn Music. But when I looked on Discogs, it seemed like it was kind of a tough Rat album to pick up, so. Radiohead The Bends. This was a steal, in my opinion, at the price. This is an original press. Probably another 80s cover. I like these 80s covers. I might do a video at some point of the collection of these that I have, because for some reason I've started collecting them. I don't know what it is about them, but I gravitate towards them. A really nice, clean copy of Diary of a Madman. I was hoping to find more hip-hop in Detroit than what I actually came across, but I did get a Cameron. And this one, you can kind of see it peeking out the back, is on purple and white wax. And then I also got a Young Jeezy original Let's Get It. What I picked up from the first spot, that was Dearborn Music. A lot of great stuff. That Chris got a big stack as well. And there was stuff that I didn't end up purchasing. You probably saw on my flip through. So highly recommend them. He was a great guy. He pulled out the secret stash for us to go through. There's like 5 to 10 boxes of higher dollar or really clean, desirable stuff. So that was cool to get to flip through those. So thank you to him, and for shipping these to me too. He was very kind to ship them. I know some stores do that, some don't, but very convenient when you're traveling, to have stores ship them to you, so then you don't have to try to put them in your carry-on or bribe somebody, locally to ship them for you.
Cindy walking around.
I gotta get I need to get a
What's that?
a needle case. Like, I don't have a hard case for my needle.
I always joke. I was like, I got, you ever seen the gold 1200 from back in the day? The little 30th anniversary? I had the gold head shelf, and I have you in a Tupperware case.
We're both big fans of this next place, and that is People's Records. If you're a 7-inch fan, a 45 fan, you would be in absolute heaven in this place. Boxes and boxes and boxes of 45s fill the entire wall in the main room part. And then in the front room, more boxes of 45s, and they probably have more hiding other places. I don't know. All of them colorfully displayed and tells you the genre for what you're about to get yourself into when you take the box off the shelf. But Really cool. I could see if I was into 45 just being there for hours digging through what they have, so that was really cool. All the different memorabilia they had on the wall was just fascinating. I really enjoyed the atmosphere of this place. It felt Detroit. Felt like I was in Detroit for sure. So I ended up getting a lot of stuff. Their pricing was fantastic, in my opinion. First thing in the stack from People's Velvet Underground. Little press of The Cure. Speedmastered. Again, I've never seen the half Speedmastered. This Bob Dylan promo of White Snake. This one I was super excited about. And this is a promo copy. I thought that was so cool. It also has the booklet with it as well. But very, very cool. Classical, jazz, funk, like very interesting music. Definitely check out Moondog if you're not familiar with Moondog. But the cover's a little beat. As you can see, it's got wear on it, but the timing strip makes up for it. And I feel like there's lots of stories behind the wear on this one, so I'm okay with it being beat. This is probably going to be a personal collection one. I do have a copy, but mine's not a promo, so I'll probably one of them is going to be for sale. We'll see which one. Mo 5, Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. And the Shrink with the fan club insert that's often missing. Original inner. Just a fantastic, beautiful copy of David Bowie Low. One of my favorite David Bowie releases. Wilson Pickett promotional copy. This one might be a white label promo as well. Yeah. Under $10. That's going home with me every day of the week, no matter what. That is so cool. Donald Byrd, Street Lady. This is a very early original pressing for $15. Some of the prices were just amazing here. Highly recommend checking out People's Records. This is Thinking of Home, another 80s Hank Mobley. And Coltrane, Dean Ammons, Jug and Sonny. Captain Beefheart with the old price tag sticker in the Shrink. Love this cover, and it's a promo. I don't care if you're a blues fan or not, you need Muddy Waters Electric Mud. There's two different covers. There's a white and a black, and this obviously is the black one. The killer part about this, and a lot of people hung them up or have posters, is the inner gatefold. Del the Funky Homo Sapien. Beautiful copy of Public Enemy. It takes a nation of millions to hold us back. What else did I get? Oh, another Muddy Waters. Muddy Waters Woodstock album. I found another piece of home, even more crazy than the Death Cab for Cutie at this store. A very small band that did not make it very big. That my sister and her best friend were like huge fangirls of. They would follow them around. It is from a very small town called Anacortes, Washington. The Lonely Forest. So when I saw this, I was like, I have to buy this. And it looks like it originally came from Dearborn, one of the other shops that we went to. The person didn't even open it, and then it ended up at People's, and now it's back home with me, and it will be opened and listened to here, back in its home. Ian Hopkins, another blues record. This one is cool. I've never seen this before. There's Shuggy Otis right there. This one I didn't even realize that I bought. Ursa Major. Honestly, don't remember buying this whatsoever. I'm not really familiar with this album, so sometimes when I'm buying a lot of records, I'll have like a stack together, and then I'll pick up the stack, and then another record will get squished between my stack, and I think this is what happened with this one. And I picked up a very clean copy. You can see the Shrink is still on. I've never had one with the Shrink still on it. Led Zeppelin Physical Graffiti. And then another thing that's super cool, I had to buy a couple of these. These are Motown test pressings. Test pressing. I can't remember what these are, but I didn't really care. I was like, I'm going to buy at least one or two because I'm in Detroit. This one is Get Crazy Original Motion Picture Soundtrack on the Motown label, but it's a test press. So I figured when in Rome, I'm in Detroit in a Detroit-esque as Detroit as you can get record store. They have Motown test pressings from back in the day in the 80s. I gotta buy one. And both of them are under $10. I'm like, yes. Those are getting added to the stack. So grab those two as well. And that's what I picked up from People's Records. When I knew I was going to have a little bit of extra time in Detroit, the thing I most wanted to do, the thing highest on my priority list, was not record shopping. It was seeing the Motown recording studio. Because when I think of Detroit, I think of Motown. And that's probably the same for a lot of you guys as well. If you're a music fan at all, you can probably close your eyes right now. You can see that white house, the blue trim, Hitsville, USA spelled out on the house. And it's still there today and looks exactly as it did back in 1959 when it was opened. It was just incredible to see the outside. And then to be able to go on the tour and go on the inside was just, it made my music and history heart very happy. I felt like I was living music history. The owner, Barry Gordy Jr., he actually was a recording artist himself, and he got his first royalty check, or one of his first royalty checks, from the label for his work, and it was so disappointing and so meager that he was complaining to his friend Smokey Robinson, and Smokey was like, you know, you're making a living off this is just, it's going to be hard. It's going to be a grind. Why don't you just start your own label? You're a smart guy. And so that's exactly what he did, and bought the house, the white house that we can all picture. The microphones hanging from the ceiling, they're the same microphones that the Temptations used to sing My Girl. Incredible that we got to stand there. We sang it together as a tour group, and it felt like you were back in time. So that was really cool to experience. You got to see his apartment with his actual dining room table. You got to walk through the offices. You got to see where the master tapes were. The master tapes, unfortunately, are not there. They're safely hidden away somewhere else. To see the original candy machine that was there, that they had always freshly stocked with, I think it was Baby Ruth candy bars that Stevie Wonder really enjoys. And they had coins on top that they actually left on top for Stevie whenever he was in the recording studio. Marvin Gaye, you have the Temptations, the Four Tops, Gladys Knight, the Supremes, Diana Ross, Smokey Robinson, the Miracles, the Marvelettes, Michael Jackson actually walked into the studio one day, actually donated a hat and glove and a check to the foundation. The work there, the choreographers, the people who put together the appearance, you know, of what it meant to be a recording artist. So they came in one way, and then they went through all these little steps, almost like a Ford assembly line, and then they came out a superstar. So really revolutionary and iconic, and definitely something that if you are in the Detroit area, you're a music fan at all, go do it. And they're also expanding too. So I think that it might be closed right now. So next time it's open, if you guys go in the future, it'll have even more stuff to do. So definitely check that out. Well, I'm sorry to leave you guys hanging, but I'm going to cut this video right here in half. So there will be a part 2 of my Detroit trip to look forward to. In the part 2, we'll have my interactive interview with Rushrecords Chris, who is a Michigan native and showed me around to some of the Detroit record stores. So look for that. That will come out soon. Please follow me on Instagram under Esky Knows Vinyl. Please follow, subscribe, like, comment here as well. I would appreciate that. And if you want to buy vinyl records from me, you can do that, because that is what I do for a living. Link in the bio below to where I sell records. They are all online. It is under Esky Knows Vinyl on Whatnot. So if you sign up with my link, you get $15 off your first purchase. No strings attached. But thank you so much, guys, for watching. And I'll catch you guys in part 2.